All right, it's Tuesday, December 4th, 2018. Stock market is officially closed. We're looking at Japanese yen futures. I want to review the last trade I executed here with the trade copier. It was on the dollar yen. So we're looking at Japanese yen futures, something that I always keep an eye on. This is the daily time frame. At this moment, it actually looks like we're probably going to see some follow through with Japanese yen strength. Now, of course, there's a few other things that I need. We've got this today, this daily bar, lots of volume here. I'm using a CCI indicator down here, momentum sort of flipping over to the positive side. And the confirmation, I'm all about confirmation. Before I get into these trades, I don't just look at certain candle patterns. I've been doing this since 2001, and I learned the hard way. I learned that it's much better to wait for confirmation, and sometimes to let certain trades pass if they just don't look right. Sometimes you get that feeling when you're about to get into a trade, and you think to yourself, well, should I? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't trade that way. I stopped trading like that a long time ago. I lost too much money thinking in the back of my mind that sometimes some of these trades work, sometimes they don't. I don't trade that way. I wait for confirmation. So what would be more confirmation along the way if this was going to continue to show more signs of strength on the way up? Uh, there's obviously a consolidation range down here, and we've got a center point high right here. Initially I drew that that resistance line straight out to the side, but it's something that I'm going to be watching along the way. So if we continue to see over the next few weeks, maybe even the next month, because again, this is a daily chart, this is Japanese yen futures. If we see Japanese yen futures continue to strengthen and take out some of these key resistance points along the way, that would print a particular signal or technique that I execute called the continuation breakout trade. And I use these indicators to confirm, again, momentum, signs of strength, volume levels. Again, when you're trading Forex, and especially if you're trading, let's say, off of the MetaTrader 4 platform, which I do for the trade copier, you're not going to have the advantage of looking at true volume. Here we're looking at futures contracts. This is volume. So if I could open this up one more click, you could actually see what I'm talking about. You can see the volume levels behind the momentum. Now, tomorrow, it might go flat. It might pull back a little bit, something to that effect. We know that very often when we get strong, solid signals, bullish or bearish, it's not in every case that the next day we're going to get follow through. Sometimes it'll go flat. Sometimes there's a little bit of that hesitation. Now, if you watch the market close, you notice that the stock market, S&P, there was a lot of things that we were trading today, keeping an eye on with our trades with the trade copier. So very often I can look for cues and clues in the other markets that are closely related to Forex, and I can gather a better sense of direction when I should close out certain trades. I'll show you what I mean by that in just a moment with the dollar yen trade. But back to what I'm saying, tomorrow we expect the possibility of price to continue higher. I don't know that tomorrow is actually going to do that, but again, I would wait for certain candlestick patterns or breakouts or something to that effect on the smaller time frame, confirming the information that I see here on the daily chart. So I would expect it. It is still inside a consolidation. I would expect that it's going to continue to find momentum. And again, confirmation would be when price starts taking out some of these key resistance levels, again, with some more volume. And we see this momentum indicator here, corresponding with that move to the upside. So if we go over here to the dollar yen trade, so when we look at the dollar yen chart, let me go back to this one. Sorry about that. I jumped ahead here. So if this is the Japanese yen futures, and I'm sort of using this as one area to confirm my trades on the dollar yen, if I see bullish Japanese yen future strength, that would indicate that the dollar yen is going to move to the downside. They're going to be moving opposites. So very often when you see my videos and you see me talking about the correlation between the dollar yen and the Japanese yen futures, you're going to see them move in opposite directions. So when price here is moving to the downside, that's Japanese yen strength. That's yen strength. So that's what we're trading off of. This was actually a 20-point trade that we took with the trade copier. And then at that point when it bottomed out and it formed this support low, It looked like, I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm using the Bollinger Bands, I'm using bandwidth, things like that to help confirm that this move here to the downside is probably going to stop, and then it's going to go sideways. Again, at that point, I'm timing my trades. I'm going to get out of the trade. I'm not going to sit here and hold indefinitely. We need to get paid. I like to get paid every day, and I'm going to take pieces of these moves because, again, if we tighten up the charts here on the 1 hour time frame, we can go back to the last week's high, and then the week, this is, I'm sorry, November 20th. This is a support low here, so we're more or less trading in the middle of this range, or at least we were earlier today, but we're trading in about the middle of this range, so we need to do it carefully. If I'm going to short this again down to support, and I expect, as I showed you in the previous chart, Japanese yen futures to continue to move higher and the dollar yen here to move lower, which would indicate Japanese yen strength. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to wait for perhaps another pullback, maybe another candlestick pattern. I refer to them, it's a technique that I use called the Tech 1 trade. And it gives me an opportunity. It gets like another trade, like a second entry. So if I can trade it once, I can trade it again, and I can trade it multiple times very often in the same direction, in that direction of the trend. And then again, I'm going to go back to the daily time frames. I'm going to be, lining things up with the Japanese yen futures, look at momentum, look at futures, volume levels to confirm my expectations here on the dollar yen. Now, in the next video that I'm going to send out to all subscribers, I'm going to talk about the daily time frames, and we're going to notice some key points that I think are going to be critical over the next few months, specifically, leading into the end of the year here. But it was a good trade. I mean, we don't have too many losing trades. If I ever experience a loss, I can always earn it back on the next trade. I'm very, very patient. To use my trade copier, all you have to do is go to the dashboard, enter in your MT4 account number and the password. I can't see it, of course. I don't see it on my end. We use Social Trader Tools. It's a platform that I did not develop, but it's a very solid. I love this platform. I love the trade copier. You can see all of the trades that I execute. You can, you've got pie charts, graphs, all kinds of things on all the trades. It breaks them down. It's a great reporting tool as well. But it's easy to connect your MT4 account. Within 5 minutes or less, you can have trades just like this. So I'm trading around the clock. I usually will sleep when it's quiet and slow during the Asian session, but I've got alarms on my charts. If something happens, if some kind of big move takes place, I'm alerted to it and I can take that trade. But generally, I'm trading during the London and New York session. I put in about 10, 12, sometimes 14, 16 hours a day. Sometimes, if I don't have to, I won't. If the market's slow inside a consolidation and I can see it across the board, obviously I'm going to, conserve, my trades. I'm not going to be into trades and babysit them and try to pick directions. I'm very, very patient. I wait for these specific trade setups to occur, and then when they do develop, I wait for confirmation. I wait for my entries. I don't chase price up and down. I don't add to I don't add to losing positions. I always use a stop loss. The largest stop loss that I use is 55 pips. Again, you're going to get trades just like this. So I trade around the clock. I execute all of these trades for you, so it's pretty much like going to sleep and then waking up and looking to, opening up your MT4 platform and looking to notice the profitability for the day. Sometimes we're going to get bigger days than other days. Sometimes we'll have 2 or 3 trades. Sometimes we could have 4 trades. They're not all open at the same time. It just depends on, if I can close one trade here and then take another one somewhere else. There are days where we just have one trade. It really depends on the market, and it depends on the market providing me an opportunity to trade my technique, the strategy that I'm looking for. So again, I'm a very patient trader. I've been doing this since 2001. And I learned the hard way, as I think a lot of us do. I learned the hard way to stay out of the markets when it's crazy, it gets confusing, it gets choppy. And I'm, again, a very patient trader. I know I keep repeating that. That's one of the things that almost all of my subscribers and students say is just they're usually pretty surprised at how patient I am and how long I will wait to get this, that one solid trade where I know beyond a shadow of a doubt it's going to be a winning trade. I am of the opinion that I would much rather have all winning trades. I want to be right 100% of the time. And you've probably heard me say this before in other videos, but if you haven't, I want to clarify what I mean by that. First of all, some people, if they don't know me and they hear me say a comment like that, they'll think, okay, well, that doesn't sound like a very experienced trader to talk like that. I don't mean that I insist on being right 100% of the time. That's not what I mean at all. What I'm saying is that I know that there's going to be the occasional loss. And what I mean is that I want to execute my trade system perfectly every single time. So it's a matter of me controlling my behavior. I need to wait for my trade to come to me. I stalk the markets. It's like hunting. I wait, and when the when the trade comes and lines up together and I have 100% confirmation, I execute that trade, and then I manage that trade to its intended target. And I just repeat the same thing over and over again whenever I get that trade. So it really comes down to me controlling my behavior, me controlling my emotions, my thoughts, my surroundings, my environment, my trading environment, and executing precisely the way I'm supposed to according to my trading system. That's really about all, as traders, that's about all we can really expect to do, is to control ourselves, because we cannot control what's going on in price. So that's what I mean by I am of the opinion that I want to be right 100% of the time. I know that I'm going to experience the occasional loss, but by behaving that way, I know that if I ever have a loss, I can earn that loss back on the next trade or two. So there isn't going to be any significant drawdown. And we always close every month with a profit. I mean, I never have a losing month. There's really no reason to. I know when to stay out of the markets. That's the other biggest advantage, I think, is that with the experience that I have, as many years as I've been trading, and in trading in different market conditions, market environments, watching the news, watching the psychology behind these trades, market psychology, I have learned that there are times when most people probably shouldn't be trading, when we just shouldn't be in a trade. And I've learned when to stay out, and I have the discipline to stay out of the markets, and then again wait for my trade to come to me, and then pick those just choice opportunities where I know I'm going to be right 100% of the time. So you're going to get the benefit of that. I've been trading for 18 years. I've got over 78,000 hours invested in my trading career. And by using my trade copier, I will be trading for you. I execute these trades. I manage these trades. I don't walk away from these trades. It's not a black box trading system that works all by itself. I know a lot of those trade copier systems and trade alerts, they have black box systems. They use systems that generate signals on the charts, and then they just call them out or execute because of what they see. They don't really take the time to understand why price is moving, and their system really isn't always. It hasn't been proven in all market conditions. So again, if you'd like to use a trade copier, we've got a special Cyber Week special that's going to expire on Friday. After that, it's gone. I'm not going to be bringing it back, and the price of the trade copier is actually going to go up in the monthly service. It's going to go up in value after this week. So I recommend get in now, lock in your price, lock in your service, and I'll be trading for you within 5 minutes once you get the once you sign up. And we're actually using PayPal now as a payment processing method, so that also improves the service, and I know you'll be really happy with the service. So thanks for watching. Be very, very careful. Market's been very crazy, choppy some days. Other days been very predictable. It really depends, but be careful. There's almost like a feeling where it seems like something's likely to happen and it's just around the corner. I can't say for sure, but it just kind of has that feeling. So definitely I'm trading very, very carefully, and picking specific opportunities, and definitely locking in profits when these hit these targets. I'm not going to hold indefinitely, hope for the best. That's for amateurs, and especially in this market environment. So good luck trading this week.